Good morning, everybody. I'll call to order the regular meeting of Coachella Valley Water District Board of Directors, December 9th, 2025, here in Palm Desert. And would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And roll call, please.
Yes, good morning, President Powell,
Here.
Vice President Estrada,
Here.
Director Bianco,
Here.
Director Aguilar,
Here.
and Director Nelson.
Here.
Thank you.
What is it that Dorothy said? There's no place like home?
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's true.
Were you cooking your heels?
Yeah. Do you know the original slippers were white, and then they realized they were doing it in color, so they made them red. Just so you know. Just so you know. Fun fact. Are there any additions, deletions, or adjustments to the agenda?
No, sir. Not this morning.
And is there anyone from the public wishing to comment at this time? We have a few guests here today, at least. Hearing none, we have a special presentation and recognitions, and then we have, I believe, three that are present. First is an anniversary. Lisa Francis, Senior Conservation Program Specialist with 20 years. Lisa Francis, a Texas native, moved to the Coachella Valley in 2005 and began her career at CVWD as an office assistant in the inspection department. Over the years, she has held several roles, including Development Services Aide, Water Management Technician, and Water Management Specialist. She currently serves as the Senior Conservation Program Specialist, overseeing water management areas related to sustainability, promoting responsible water usage, and long-term water security. She holds a bachelor's degree in anthropology from Southern New Hampshire University and is a certified landscape irrigation auditor and is a certified water use efficiency practitioner 1. Her manager adds that Lisa goes above and beyond to provide exceptional customer service, develop and support staff, and foster a collaborative environment, driving the department's success at advancing water management and the district's mission. Outside of work, Lisa is a licensed Zumba instructor, teaching classes at Pure Fit Athletic in Palm Desert. She enjoys spending time with her family, including her daughter Amanda and her baby nephew Kobe, and her 3 dogs. And I normally wouldn't read this, but I like the names. Charlotte, Perseus, and Brown Bear, as well as her 2 cats, Patches and Princess Spencer, which is a very nice name for a cat. Anyways, we'll applaud and have you come up in just a moment. We've got 2 more. Francisco Suarez, also an anniversary with 20 years. Francisco Suarez's career at the district began as a temporary worker, but his dedication quickly turned a short-term role into a permanent home. A native of Tijuana, Mexico, Francisco owned his own rental company for several years before securing a position as a temporary worker in the mechanical and electric shop in 2004. From there, he learned the ropes and showed a talent for quick problem solving. A year later, he earned a full-time position in domestic construction and later advanced to mechanical maintenance technician 2 in sanitation. Over the last 20 years, Francisco has assembled, repaired, and maintained the complex machinery that keeps CVWD systems running smoothly. From lift stations to warp facilities, he tackles challenges big and small. He's earned his mechanical technologist grade 1, 2, and most recently grade 3 certifications along the way. Francisco credits past supervisors for their mentorship. He also takes pride in helping new employees learn the ropes. The camaraderie here is very nice, he said. The district and this career, it's a blessing to my family. Outside of CVWD, Francisco enjoys spending time with his wife, Maria Lucero, and their 3 children, Lucero, Melissa, and Francisco Jr. He also likes camping, hiking, and helping with the sound system at church. And then 5 that are not here on all anniversaries. Renee Espinosa, Domestic Water Technician 1 with 20 years. Luis Sanchez, Environmental Compliance Specialist with 20 years. Danny Castillo, Operations Crew Chief, Domestic with 20 years. Jose Garcia, Service Worker, also 20 years. And Robert Hodges Jr., Domestic Water Technician 2 with 20 years. And then we have a retirement. Always learn something interesting when I read these. Today, we celebrate Colm Smith with an incredible 18-year journey with CVWD. Colm joined us August 13th, 2007 as a computer programmer analyst 1, and since then has been cornerstone in our information systems department. His work has shaped the way we operate, developing custom Java programs, strengthening cybersecurity, and ensuring our digital systems run smoothly. He's also played a key role in building system architecture and supporting our ERP implementation. Colm's story began in Dublin, Ireland, where his passion for programming and electronics took root. After moving to the U.S., he worked in IT for Desert Hot Springs Police Department and later as a senior IT analyst at Golden West College, before bringing his expertise to CVWD. When asked what he loves most about his work, Colm says, "Technology changes so frequently, there's always something new to learn. That curiosity and dedication has made a lasting impact across every department." Outside of work, Colm enjoys traveling, reading, music, and time with family and friends. And as he retires on December 15th, he's looking forward to becoming a digital nomad, traveling the world, staying in small towns, and continuing to code remotely. A few fun facts: his favorite music is jam bands. He can't live without social interactions, and his dream vacation is anywhere he can live like a local. Colm, thank you for your years of service, innovation, and friendship, and we wish you all the best in this exciting next chapter. So congratulations to all of you. And we're going to, the three that are present, come on up. I think June's got the goods.
Just have a seat, Francisco, that's great. Just have a seat for now.
Oh, there we go.
Now, we have a microphone in case you want to say something, or you want to break out in song. Well, if I know the words.
You have a 3-minute song. That's it.
Okay. I would
Start the
just
timer.
I would just say thank you to the district for all the opportunities and for a really fulfilling and meaningful career. So thank you.
Cisco, come on. You also get the opportunity to talk.
There you go.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to God first and let me bless me all these years here and the district also for letting me give me the chance to the opportunity to grow up here and my bosses too. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
And the last guy, who seems to have a fan club here. Mike, Bob? You don't get the microphone. Matching tops and bottoms? All right. Should I sit down? Are you going to be a while?
Yeah. Can you put 30 minutes on the clock, please?
Oh, yeah, you control the clock.
Okay, I'm not going to go through all this, but Mike Emerson is here. He hired me back in 2007. Bob Kieran's here. Thank you for coming. Everyone who I've worked with in the past, thanks for being here. I just want to mention the names since we're recording this, and we'll probably look back on it. So Mike Emerson, Lance Gillespie, Mike Pollock, Gary Palomino, Dave Lindau, Oscar Rodriguez, Dow Gaylor, Vince Martinez, Jeff Taff, and Larry Edwards. That was the department that we started. And now there's 22 people in our department, and we've grown a lot. And it's this is a great organization. You know, you may have some issues when you're working here over 20 years or 18 years, but sleep well at night knowing that the job we do benefits the entire community. And it's one of the best jobs I've ever had when it comes to being able to sleep at night knowing that you're doing positive work for the community. I also, if you're over 50 and you're male, get your colonoscopy. Just because you want to live and you want to enjoy your retirement. So walk, exercise, and eat right, because that's what's going to pay off in the end.
In the end.
In the end.
This brings us to our consent calendar, items 6A through J.
I'll make a motion to approve consent calendar.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Pass.
Who's moved?
Pass 5-0. Okay, at this time we'll recess as the Coachella Valley Water District Board of Directors and convene as the Public Facilities Corporation Board. And the one thing we need to do is approve the minutes of the December 10, 2024 Public Facilities Corporation Annual Meeting.
I remember it like yesterday.
That's correct. It's just an annual process. The board must meet annually
It was
as
a lot
the.
like the meeting we're having right now.
Exactly.
It's gonna.
Exactly.
They probably will just change the date on the minutes. All right. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Yes.
All right. We have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passed 5-0. All right. That concludes that board's work, so we'll adjourn as the Public Facilities Corporation Board and reconvene as Coachella Valley Water District Board of Directors. And this brings us to an ordinance on landscape and irrigation system design criteria. And Adam, come on up.
Good morning.
Morning.
There we go. Okay. Good morning, President Powell and members of the board. My name's Adam McWay, Conservation Manager, here to present on the recommended adoption of updates to the district's landscape and irrigation system design criteria ordinance, what will be 1302.6. This item was discussed at the board study session on October 16th, 2025. And per feedback from the board, the proposed updates to the water waste and Appendix F, the schedule of monetary penalties, those parts have been removed. As discussed, the update mostly focuses on aligning the district's terms and definitions to those adopted by the state in the state's model water efficient landscape ordinance. I do have a brief presentation, or if the board prefers, we can go straight to comments, questions.
Is there any desire to hear the full presentation?
I've had lots of meetings on this, and I'm pretty happy with the direction we're going.
Yeah.
You know, there was a few things that
Yeah.
I think you all talked about
Yes.
that we had concerns about, which
Right.
the district
Right.
took out.
Right. So I guess the answer is no. We can just go
Okay.
do the short version.
I did have a question.
Okay.
I'll just start. The in the community outreach under CVAG's comments, there were no comments. Is that because there was just no concerns, suggestions, or just some feedback on the CVAG meeting, May 8th?
Yeah, I mean, so with respect to CVAG, I went and presented at one of the committee meetings. And I believe there was some discussion and questions that were answered at the meeting, but there is no letter action taken by the committee following the presentation.
Were you there? Yes. No, I wasn't. Excuse me, I wasn't there.
You're not
But I really have a feeling that CVAG is trusting this board onto.
Yeah, I would expect the same, but they just didn't send a letter, so, whereas you got a letter from the other agencies, so I was just curious about it. Okay, that's all, thanks.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments from the board? Is ordinance required a roll call? I forget.
Yes,
It
and
is. All right.
do we have a public comment on this item?
Excuse
We have
me.
public
Sorry.
comment? All
We
right.
do. I apologize. I was making
Please.
notes. We do have Craig Kessler.
Morning, Craig.
Thank you.
Morning.
President
I
Powell,
like to
members
I
of the
like to
board.
remind lawyers that they only get 3 minutes.
I'm going to take half that and ingratiate myself. I haven't spoken here in many years, and I didn't wear a coat this time.
Thank
Per
you.
your instruction.
Thank you.
Casual in the desert. Well,
Thank you.
President Powell, members of the board, Craig Kessler, I'm chair of the Gulf and Water Task Force, and I wanted to reiterate the points that were made in the letter that we filed on this item in full support. Also want to take a moment to express appreciation to the board and the staff for the open dialogue they've long had with the golf community. This was what we worked with actually then Assembly Member Friedman on the language of 1572 that's incorporated into this. We've worked for years with the Department of Water Resources on MWELO, and actually we have a pretty good relationship with the person who wrote the language of Assembly Bill 1572, which is the prescriptions on the use of potable water to irrigate non-functional turf. And the difference between functional and non-functional becomes very critical for the golf industry, and probably a little bit more importantly here in the desert for the HOAs as well, which are, tied to golf courses in a way they really aren't in most of the rest of the state. That's Krista Guerrero of Metropolitan Water District who wrote the thing. So all of our sort of details and concerns were really incorporated into this. That's a long-standing policy, I think, of this board and staff to do those kinds of things on various things. And I thought I'd take a moment to actually come here and express appreciation to all of you, that's board and staff, for that dialogue and so forth. So again,
Good.
with that, full support, move forward, and I think I came in under 3 minutes, right?
Thank you.
You got it.
Half. You came in under half. That's incredible. Thanks, Craig. Any other public comments? So I think we don't have a motion yet, do we, to approve this ordinance? Is there a motion to approve this ordinance?
Yes, so moved, Mr. Chairman.
How about a second?
Second.
Second from Vice President Estrada. Good. Roll call vote, please.
Yes. President Powell.
Aye.
Vice President Estrada.
Yes.
Director Bianco.
Aye.
Director Aguilar.
Yes.
And Director Nelson.
Aye.
Thank you. 5-0.
That's 5-0. Thanks for coming in, Craig. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So 10A, General Manager Employment Agreement.
And if you like, Mr. President, I can make
Yes.
the,
Yep.
the Brown
Please.
Act recitation.
No.
No.
So prior to the board considering this item, the Brown Act requires under 54953 that the following report be made in public. Number one, the recommendation is to adopt the Third Amendment to the amended and restated employment agreement that provides the general manager will be eligible for a discretionary bonus of between 0 and 10% of the general manager's base salary. Item 2, the criteria for awarding this bonus for 2025 was outlined in the Third Amendment. Number 3, based on the board's review and assessment of the overall leadership and contributions and initiatives, the board has determined that the general manager qualifies for a 10% discretionary bonus. And 4, that the 10% of the base salary equals the amount of $38,554.70. Any incentive compensation that is approved will be paid in 2025. So with those elements of the action before you, it's about to the board to decide what to do.
Right. Good. So, we met as a board and agreed on this discretionary bonus, and I think we can express appreciation, Jim, for your good work here, and happy to have you on the team. leading the team.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate the support of the board, and I certainly couldn't do this without the staff that we've got. We have stabilized our executive team. There was periods of turnover, but they're all working very well together. I think we've got the right people in the right places, and I just benefit every day from that. And I want to thank them sincerely, and then thank the board as well.
Yeah, no, there's no replacement for hiring the right people, as we said earlier, for different reasons. All right, we're looking for a motion to approve this 10A.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Second, Nelson. Good. Hearing no further comment, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passed 5-0.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Hey, Robert, go ahead and take 10B. Morning.
Morning, President Powell, members of the board. The item before you is to consider CVWD's participation in the Yuba Corps Dry Year Water Purchase Program. I'm trying to figure out. So, CVWD's has a long history with this particular agreement that provides water supplies in dry years. So the item that would like the board to consider today is to, three things. I think, well, two things really. To execute Amendment 7, which covers the new contract period, which has the new pricing from January 1st, 2026 to December of 2030. And then also to reaffirm our participation in this dry year purchase program until 2050. And we do have off-ramps in this, but the conditions are renewed every 5-year cycle. Then also to make a determination that this action is exempt from CEQA, since this is not a new project, but rather an amendment. So the Yuba River Water Cord, the very brief background here, I'm not going to read through all this, but it was actually started out in 2007 between these different agencies outlined. So you've got the Water Agency, Yuba County Water Agency. You've got Department of Water Resources, who we deal with. Then Reclamation represents the federal side, and you've got fishery agencies, and then the state water contractors. This has been a model of success for balancing water management needs within California for flood control, also fishery needs, and also water supply. So for CVWD, our interest is primarily in the water supply improvements, primarily during dry years. And then the three agreements, primary agreements, are kind of outlined at the bottom half here. You've got the fisheries agreement, you've got the local conjunctive use agreements, and then you also have the actual water purchase agreements. And this is actually executed in two parts, which I'll cover on the next page. So the first part is actually between the Department of Water Resources and the Yuba County Water Agency, and this was executed in 2007 with an expiration date of later this year. And it breaks down the water supply benefits to the whoever wants to participate in this program into two primary sources, either water that's exportable using surface water as a means. And you see these three different components, which I'm not going to go through a lot of details on unless the board desires that. And you've got a groundwater component, which is referred to as component 4. Where CVWD comes in is our agreement with Department of Water Resources. So we executed this agreement 3 months after the master agreement between the department and Yuba County. So this agency has had 6 prior amendments that were approved by CVWD's board for water supply benefits, and the current agreement will expire at the end of this year. So the relevant changes are outlined in this table. Not going to read through all of it, but the way to read this, the first column on the far left is the water year type and the Sacramento Valley Index, which provides a measure of how wet or dry the conditions are in the Sacramento Valley. So going from top to bottom, you've got the wettest condition and then you've got above normal all the way down to critical. And then the two final lines are consecutive dry years and consecutive critical years. And you will see in the columns to the far right, which is Amendment 7 prices, that sets the conditions for 26 to 2030. You'll see components 1 and 3, and by the way, components 1, 2, and 3 are all surface water sources, have the same pricing. Components 1 and 3 are separated by the volume of water that's actually delivered. So under the old contract, the sort of contracted volume for component 1 is 60,000 acre feet, whereas under the new amendment, it's actually 30,000 acre feet. But after that, then the water is actually considered a component 3. For the purposes of pricing, they're still considered the same. Component 2 is slightly different because, as you will note, under the new amendment, is only available during dry and critical years, and is priced at 80% of the cost of the component 1 and 3 for those respective years. So they have some limitations to them that you'll see on the table, 15,000 acre feet and 30,000 acre feet. And then you'll see the prices get progressively more expensive the drier the conditions become. So the most notable changes here are just in terms of pricing to kind of reflect the market conditions. So even at, say, $525 an acre foot under 2 or more consecutive critical years, is still relatively, I would term, affordable during those particular years. Component 4, I'll just cover very briefly. Component 4 comes from groundwater substitution sources and is still being negotiated annually. And I think in the history of CVWD's participation in this, I think there's only been 1 year ever that Component 4 was made available. So this graphic just simply provides a quick snapshot of the years that we've actually received Yuba water and color-coded them for easy reference. So the red is critical years, the dry is in the sort of the yellow, and then the below normal is in that tan color. And you'll see there's blocks of years where we're not getting any water, and that's actually when it's not really dry or critical or below normal. And the program's actually working the way it's intended. So to summarize, this agency has received benefit of 10,758 acre feet actually delivered through our exchange agreement with Metropolitan. We paid $5.23 million. A portion of it is paid to Yuba County Water Agency for the actual water. And then the $1.75 million is actually paid to the department for actually moving our water to our service area. So this nets in a unit cost of $486 an acre foot delivered. So making it one of our cheaper sources when those supplies are available. So with that, I would like to open up the floor for any kind of questions for your consideration.
Could you just explain again the years where there was no deliveries? What triggers no deliveries?
I think the Yuba County Water Agency, has a contract, with the department to deliver water during those certain year types. So, I do not know the mechanics of how they make a determination of how much is available. I think, there's the surface water sources, components 1 through 3 are released from reservoirs. So they might reoperate their reservoirs to provide that water to deliver to us under contract.
And then component 2 is what's component 2?
It's dry and critical years, and it can be made available.
Okay.
And
right,
we don't have a say.
So it's just a matter if it's available, and then if we want to participate.
That's right.
Are we forced to?
No.
Are we forced to buy water if it's
No, we're
available?
not.
So it's just it's part.
Right. So
Voluntary.
basically, it's a right of first refusal, and we coordinate with Metropolitan on this, and also Desert Water because we're kind of tied together through the exchange agreement on it. And more often than not, in those kind of years, we do want that water because, I think the last, on this graphic, I'm showing the last deliveries that we took were in 21 and 22, which were 5% years on the state water project. So, every drop really helped, especially our trading partners in this.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Robert, with the 26 contractors, how many participate in this program? Do you know?
Oh, great question. Right off the top of my head, I try to visualize. I think probably about less than half.
Less than half.
Right.
Okay. So they for whatever reason they're not participating, right?
Right.
So of the half, about the 13 agencies, what's the utilization rate of the water that's made available from Yuma? So is it like if we took our full contractual amount, that'd be 100%. Are districts by and large utilizing this program to their fullest, or are they using it about half the time? Do you have a sense of that?
No, great question. I don't have a great sense of it. I would say that, it seems like Metropolitan has a lion's share of this, just owing to their Table A. And from my recollection, they always take advantage of it. Okay. And then I think, there's some CVP contractors who are also, I think, I'm trying to remember, probably getting it wrong, but maybe Westlands, get some access to this as well.
Oh, even though they're not state water project contractors, they can buy in on this?
They do, yeah. I think I showed Reclamation as being a party, a party to this accord.
Okay.
So that's their representation.
Okay, great. And then, so, we in dry years, we have our buffer with our groundwater basin. And so we really don't need the water in dry years, although the total sum of the water obviously helps Coachella in our total water supply. But for annual deliveries, in 5% years, 10% years, it's vitally critical for Metropolitan. So in our partnership with Metropolitan, this has got to be a key, we're paying for a key ingredient of a water supply in a dry year that really does help Metropolitan Water District. And so in our negotiations and our partnerships, this has got to be a very key objective in participating to this program. Is that a fair assessment?
No, I think that's a great summary. In fact, I think in 2022, I think component 4 water was made available. And, to your point, we do not need it on an instantaneous basis. I think it's, over a long term, it's nice to have that water, in our groundwater basin. But I think Metropolitan said, what, we really, kind of need it. And, I came to this body and you all agreed. You said, what, for the sake of Metropolitan, let's go ahead and, participate in that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we should be turning down 10,000 acre feet of water availability, especially as we're, looking at sites, right?
Exactly.
Last thing, these prices on a per acre foot in the contract that were in the Amendment 7 runs up to $525. Is that delivered into the aqueduct, or is that before it has to move through the delta and then we have losses on top of that?
Yeah, no, great question. This is water that's actually priced at the point of delivery from Yuba County. So to your observation, this water still has to move through the delta. Incurs somewhere between 25 30% carries losses, and then we also bear the cost of the payment to Department of Water Resources. That was the 1.75 million that I showed on the next slide as additional cost.
Okay, so the 1.75 million to DWR plus the 3.8, that's the 5.23 million for the 10,000, and that's where you get the 486.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but then there are some other costs too. Then down the line in terms of a loss over the delta. I'm trying to.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think in an effort not to confuse people, maybe I didn't put as much detail in here as I wanted to. So the $486 an acre foot is the all-in pricing.
all-in price.
Right. So that includes, you know, the losses and
Oh, that's
and delivered.
That's
you know,
excellent. That's
It's,
excellent.
so
Yeah.
it's actually pretty affordable. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we could certainly show you the math if you wanted to, you know, with the 25%
Yeah, I'll probably get
losses
with
and
you
stuff.
later because
Sure.
I wouldn't. Well, I guess some of the above normal, below normal years are down at 225. So it probably it seems like it would wash out. I'm just kind of focused on that 525.
Of course.
You know,
Right.
then you lose 35% of the water. Yeah, so that makes sense on that lower years. It would even that out to 486. I'm good with that.
Right, and by the way, I think one of the reasons why, you know, like anything above below normal, you know, we don't have any deliveries is because, you know, there simply is not any conveyance capacity, you know, in the aqueduct to, you know, bring that water down, even if it was available. So,
Right.
anyways,
Okay.
Robert, I have a question. So
Yes, sir.
on funding, we budget for these in the operating budget for
Right.
this. So has the 5.23 already been paid? Has that been dispersed?
it has.
It has. So then, do we budget annually then for any potential future hydrology needs? And how does that work? How do you know how much to budget for?
Well, yeah, thank you for that question. I think what we do is like we kind of take a look at, you know, the long-term averages, kind of realizing that, you know, we don't have this each and every year. And so fortunately I have a very capable analyst who does that, who helps me out with that. But I think we do budget, you know, somewhere, you know, probably using about $500 acre foot delivery costs. And then we say, hey, you know, if you kind of take, you know, all these numbers for the years that are available, you know, I mean, probably smooths it out to call it about, you know, 1,000 acre foot a year. So we take that $500, you know, multiply by 1,000, and then that's how we kind of crank it into, you know, for budgetary purposes.
You know, John, that's a great question. It's a real crapshoot.
Yeah, it kinda sounded like
I mean, you might get 5%, you might get 100%, and you don't know. So I've been in other organizations that budget much like this, and we were budgeting at a 50%. Right, so it's like the median. Like half the time you'll be above that, half the time you'll be below that, and rarely you'll be right on. So
Yeah.
it's a tough budgeting.
if we don't use it, it just rolls over.
Yeah.
Thank
Robert,
you, Robert.
I have a question. So we're going to sign up for 25 years, and it looks like we're going to negotiate the price every 5 years. Is that normal on these past agreements to negotiate the price every 5 years, or has that changed?
No, thank you for your question, Director Bianco. What we're doing going forward is in line with what we've done with the previous six amendments. I think we, you know, negotiate. Well, we don't negotiate. I think DWR negotiates on our behalf, you know, for the pricing, and it's done somewhere on a 3 to 5 year basis. But I think we kind of stabilize, you know, with the operations over the last 18 years now. We said, hey, you know, maybe 5 years seems like to be a reasonable period.
And then my other question is have we calculated with these new prices? So we paid 5.23 million over the last to receive this 10,000 acre feet. What would it have been
With the
these
new pricing?
prices? Yeah.
I've not done that, but I think in general the prices went up by about 15%. You know, so we can probably apply a 15% multiplier to that 5.23, so probably about 7.5 million.
That's fair.
So other than the pricing, is that the only thing that's changing from the previous agreements?
It is. I think that's the most substantive. I mean, I think there's, you know, some minor changes. You know, they call like C1, C2, and C3 like storage water component or something like that. But I think materially it doesn't change affect, you know, the water supply benefits of this agreement.
I mean, I think it's very important. I mean, this board for the last 100 years has always been, you know, proactive, and I think it's in our best interest to be on the forefront of any water that's available anywhere at any time. in this
Thank you.
valley.
Right. Completely agree.
Yeah, especially at a fair price. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a,
Robert, in terms of kind of the other 13 or so agencies that would participate in this. Do you know where we are in terms of approving this amendment number 7? Are we on the forefront? Are we at the tail end? Or
I say we're probably about mid-pack. I think the department has expressed a real desire to have this inked before the end of the year, and so I think Metropolitan went yesterday in their committee meeting. I think they approved it. I do not have visibility to others, but in talking to Desert Water, I think they're probably going to be going in whenever their board meeting is in December.
Okay.
So,
all right, great.
Not to prolong, I think it's a no-brainer to do this deal, but I'm just curious, what do they do with the money? The Yuba County Water Authority, I mean, they're getting, what,
Right.
over a period of time, they're probably getting $50 or $100 million on this water sales.
right.
Is there, what, seems like a really good revenue source for them.
They're offsetting the rates.
I don't have a precise answer
I mean,
for
that's
you.
got to be a pretty small water agency. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's huge, but I think they've, from what my understanding is, they're actually again, provide some, flood control projects, and then also fisheries, which seems like
So it's going into actual projects.
yes, and I could certainly get a more detailed list if you
Yeah, no, that's
like.
fine. That's fine.
But so I think it's actually, in this case, the monies, come. I mean, we get the water supply benefits. We provide the money. They provide, the local agencies with the resources to better, their water management tools, with some additional facilities.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, those other groups are underneath that umbrella, aren't they?
Right.
For that money. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's a really good question.
It is.
So this is a lot of money.
It probably is a lot. I mean, I'm guessing it's on the order of, annually, it's several million a year.
Yeah.
10 maybe, 15. I don't know. Okay.
I would move approval of the participation in amendment number 7 for the Yuba Accord Dry Year Water Purchase Program.
Second.
Okay, good. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passed 5-0.
Thank you.
Thanks, Robert.
Board meeting schedules. Those were circulated. I did not hear from anybody on wanting changes. Are there
And
anybody want to make changes?
If you note, there were just a couple kind of deviations from the standard Tuesday. One of the practices we've tried to implement is if we have a board meeting following a Monday holiday, move that over either to a Wednesday or the following, just from a planning logistics for staff. It's a little difficult to come in to
Right.
Tuesday morning after a Monday holiday and coordinate all the testing and so forth.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So there
Yeah,
are 2 months.
My comment was was for D. Sorry, but yeah.
Oh,
we
sorry.
also I got that. Yeah.
Because we are on the meeting schedule, yes. Okay.
Yeah. No, it looks logical. It's what we did this year, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And staying with the dark days in August for kind of a summer recess, and then November, December for the Thanksgiving and the holiday breaks in December.
Right.
Just wanted to get that on.
I
if
guess
there were any
we were
requests.
being asked to approve that, right? Is that
Yeah,
right?
we hadn't done that in the past, but I thought just to be transparent and give the board an opportunity to ensure that the August summer recess is what works for everybody, and
Yeah.
allow for planning and scheduling for 2026 for the board.
Right. Okay. Is there a motion to approve the calendar that was circulated?
Yeah, so move.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Pass 5-0. And now on to the committees. This is the one I made
Correct.
the comment on
This is
earlier
the
that
one.
I have not heard from anybody.
And I did not either, so if the board is comfortable with the existing appointments, we could approve as is for the 2026 calendar year.
I'll make a motion to approve as is.
Thank you.
Second.
Yeah, I mean, so Salton Sea Authority, is that?
That's
I
alive.
was gone for
It's
a
not
while.
gonna go away.
Okay, it's
No.
not going away.
It's not going away.
I hadn't heard the backroom chatter on that one.
May not go
I
away
saw
for
that. So, but
this year.
IID's not participating any longer.
Yeah, so as you know, IID voted this last Tuesday, to withdraw from the Salton Sea Authority, and that process takes till June in there, and so they'll be participating through June.
Until-
I think they'll pull their funds, but There are the other members in there, so we're one
Yeah.
of them.
All right, just thought I'd bring it up.
We can schedule this for a future board meeting. There will be a budgetary impact with IID withdrawing.
Well, we approve our participation every year as far as paying our dues, right?
Right, I don't expect their expenses to go down, so our budget
our share.
input will need to go up.
Our share would be higher, yeah.
Yeah.
Or we can,
I would just make note that the authority ended the fiscal year with $100,000 to the plus, so I don't think it's quite as dire as folks may think.
maybe
yeah,
not
and
short term.
we have we have $1 million that I think we've kind of floated around that can certainly be used to offset those costs and
We can schedule.
And I think that's a really good point to bring up during board comments or during one of the items for board reimbursement for meetings.
Yeah, I get it. I brought it up just because I wanted to make sure the authority was still in existence, which it sounds like it is.
it is. We're gonna try to keep it alive.
Look, it's very robust.
Yeah. I just know what I read. So, all right, we have a motion and a
And,
second.
you know, I
believe.
apologize before, I do just want to make a comment that there were some prior discussions and regarding the committee assignments and the legislative and the finance committee about possibly having more consistent regular meetings on those topics. So I just kind of wanted to note that here, that we'll look at possibly, at least for the finance. I'm not sure about the legislative. I'm looking at Scott where I can find
Well,
something.
that's
but-
fine. You know, last year I think there was a proposal for several meetings, and it was
Correct.
too many. I
For
thought.
the finance.
So if we can try to maybe not quite have, more than a couple.
There was, and I believe President Powell, you may not have been on that email, but Director Aguilar had requested certain items or certain discussion items to be brought before the Finance Committee,
Right.
things of policies and so forth. So what we can try to do is incorporate those in. Maybe we look at 3 or 4 quarterly meetings for the Finance Committee, and we can incorporate those types of items.
Right.
Schedule those accordingly into that schedule.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not saying not to cover the items, but just maybe fewer meetings.
Okay.
'Cause it was a lot. I forget how many, but it was like I'm not
And
doing
I think
that.
we only met half of those, so I think we
No,
were
yeah.
looking at 4 or 5.
There you
but
go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Should
Okay.
So since we're having the discussion, so aside from that though, if directors have certain specific interest in financial and or legislative issues, they can schedule meetings with department directors or the general managers and go over those specifically for those of interest, right? I mean,
Correct.
this committee system doesn't preclude that.
Correct.
Is my question.
Yeah. Just the Brown Act precludes you from going to one of the committee.
Well,
meetings.
you can go, you can't speak.
No. But, you didn't hear my
Oh.
to prevent you from going to one of the committee members and lobbying them.
Oh, yes, of
Correct.
course.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
should we try to revive the growers meetings? I know it's still on here, and you and I are on that, John, and we haven't had a meeting in the.
There is no such group right now, but I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I don't think we've met for maybe 4 years or.
Those kind of things, I can see that becoming an issue if, for instance, just for example, if there were shortages being allocated to ag deliveries, that group would probably reformulate itself pretty quickly. I think it's like a crisis thing,
Yeah.
There just isn't a crisis.
There's not.
right
Yeah, there's not no
now.
big issue out there. Everything seems to be.
I mean,
working
that
fine.
started with the QSA. That's why that group started originally, and that was in the 90s.
And then the Oasis project.
An Oasis.
Yeah.
Anyways,
We'll wait for Mr. Olson to put the group
we could-
together again.
Yeah,
I don't know that he holds all the cards.
I think we can leave it on there, recognizing that it may not meet, but it's not
Yeah.
our committee really.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
just
Okay. I just wanted.
Yeah.
'Cause I saw it there. So.
yeah. Good
Okay.
point. Do we already have a motion in a
You
second?
do.
Yes.
We have a
All right.
motion
Let's-
by
let's-
Director
why
Bianco, second by Director Aguilar.
Let's vote then. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pass 5-0.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, E. Armando, there he is, hiding behind the monitor. Good morning.
Good morning, President Powell, members of the board, audience, fellow staff. My name for the record is Armando Rodriguez with the engineering department. And the purpose of this request is to seek authorization to execute a construction contract with Borden Excavation as the lowest responsible bidder for the construction of FY 2021 on-site and Young Farms non-potable water pipeline projects in the amount of $7,755,000. This request is also for soft costs, engineering services during construction, about 200,000, soil and concrete testing for about the same amount of 200,000, construction inspection of 350, and contingency of 320,000, and we had to pay an NDO encroachment permit fee as well. Our total request today is about it's $8,975,990. This is a great opportunity for us to continue our non-potable water infrastructure investment. As you know, we have done a lot of infrastructure off-site along the streets of Frank Sinatra, Portola, as you probably see here recently. And now it's our turn to now focus our attention to on-site. One of the reasons we separated the off-site with on-site is just funding. There is no grants that can support us with the on-site. So that's one of the reasons we separated. But this project is, as I said, a great opportunity because now we're able to come back to Annenberg, Jack Ivy Ranch, Palm Royale, Southwest Community Church, Suncrest, Tamarisk, and happy to report now we're going to focus our attention now with Young's Farms and install. They're a little bit of a change. We're going to do the off-site and on-site as part of this project as well. They've been very patient with us. They're one of the first advocates, one of the first farms that said, yes, I want to join. So we're happy to connect them. With that, I'll pause to see if there's any questions, but please understand that this project was duly vetted and bid. And we did receive a lot of bidders, some from 7 million all the way up to 11 million. I believe 9 bids in total. Borden Excavating, it is a good contractor. It has given us a very great pricing. I think our engineering estimate was 10 million, and they came in right at 7.7 million. We reviewed that bid. We feel comfortable. We can go forward. It is fully funded with a water demand outlet and with PAYGO. There is no grant associated with it just because it's associated with the on-site components of this project. So with that, I'll pause to see if there's any questions. And yes.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to piece this together here. So I think you've brought up the Young's farmland, and I was trying to figure out what we heard like in October. So you brought an item. Finance brought an item in October. I thought that was a resolution, and it had to do with the financing. Is that all? Is that part of this?
So we're funding this now.
But you said this is the offsite. That funding was for the onsite.
Yeah, that was offsite. This is namely onsite, and we have about 2 million PAYGO, and we have about 7 million in water demand offsets fees.
So I'm looking at. I was just trying to connect the dots here, but warp number 7, tertiary improvements. And it's part of the Young's Farmland non-potable water connection project. It says that it's a current estimated cost of $35.4 million. Is this all part of the same project?
Those are for projects that we are able to get loans and grants. These projects here are not able to get loans and grants. Even the Young Farms, we decided to put that ahead just because they've been waiting for us for about, I believe, more than 7 years to connect. We were able to find some non-potable water. We were able to look at their demands and say what we can feed them with the existing infrastructure we have within WIRP 7. The project you're referencing now is a future expansion. We do have to expand the recycled water within WIRP 7, and we're looking at loans and grants to get that done.
So this isn't coming from Warp 7. This is coming.
That water is coming from WIRP 7, but we can serve it with the existing infrastructure we have now. To go beyond just Young's Farms, we have to do a reinvestment and expand our recycled water at WIRP 7, and that's where that resolution is you're looking at.
So then what are we expanding? Because I thought that the big argument for the expansion of WIRP 7 was to create more supply and
part of finding a home for that supply was like the Young Farms. What was there above that?
So there's additional customers that we can deal with, or we can connect in and around WIRP 7. Young Farms is one of them, but we have Talavera, which is one.
Yeah. But you're taking Young Farms out already.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So this is all being carried by sanitation or the West Rack, or
It's sanitation
sanitation?
and water demand offset fee.
So was this 5 million in our budget? Because it was supposed to be a grant, right?
This is on-site, so there's for the majority of the projects, it's on-site. About $8 million of this, and so there's no grants or loans associated with this. We are fully we do have this funding source.
But wasn't it supposed to be though? It was supposed to be though.
Right.
Yeah. So it was supposed to be, and so.
No, the offsite has always been planned to be PAYGO. The onsite. It's always been planned to be PAYGO. So the onsite component of this is installing the meters and the vaults to deliver the water from the offsite pipelines. So it's on the private property, and so typically the state doesn't fund things that are on the private property. But we have been collecting the water demand offset fee from the developers. That's the in lieu recharge fee that allows us to keep the groundwater in the ground and to support these recycled water projects. And that is the fee that we collect now in lieu of the supplemental water supply charge. And we made that change in 2022. So the majority of these on-site connections are being funded using non-rate revenue, using a developer fee. So the impact to the sanitation budget is very minimal.
How much do we have in that fund, do you think?
Enough to do this project.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, well,
I don't know
if it's
exactly
enough-
how much, but I think we
But to
get
Jim's
about,
point, enough
about
to do the project.
$2
And
million a year.
No, and I'm following now, and thank you for that explanation. I'm following now with what you're saying.
Okay.
This is the on-site off of the
off of the
main
the
line,
main lines
which
that we've
the
installed.
grant won't cover,
And the grant
and
loans
you're
have
going to
already
pay
covered.
that
Right.
with this supplemental fee that is meant for that.
Right, exactly.
Because that money, we don't really use it for anything else, right?
We did a rate study. We did the cost of service study, and the cost of service study listed all of these recycled water projects, and that's how we came up with the fee.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you.
But we were waiting we postponed this because we were waiting for grant money, correct?
We've postponed Young's Farms in relation to the WARP 7 recycled water expansion project because we grouped it with that. And because that has been taking so long, we decided to separate out Young's Farms and put it with this on-site project.
Okay.
We also have grant money available for Warp 4. Or at least
I don't
alone.
know that we want to get that confused with this. This is
Well, that
Warp
may be
7 and
causing
Warp 10.
that may be causing some of the confusion. We have a couple of different water reclamation plants.
Yeah.
So
No, it makes sense. This is I'm following now. This is these are the pipelines. The bulk of the grant was for the expansion of the plant. The one that I brought up was specifically
The one you brought up is specific
And
for the expansion of
of
the
the
plant,
plant,
so that
and-
we can serve
yes.
those other existing golf courses, the Pulte projects, Shadow Hills, or Shadow, yeah, I think it's Shadow Hills, Talavera, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so the grant funded the expansion at the work facility. The distribution line to the Young's Farm, was that part of that grant?
This
or-
is part of this project.
That's part of
It's
this.
gonna get
project.
taken off of the other one.
Okay. So if we were to go to Pulte Homes or Talavera or any of the other opportunities, those would be funded in the same way that we're funding now.
They're gonna be part of, those lines are already there, because they're already receiving the canal water.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So we will have to install pipelines to bring them recycled water. But that's part of the grant. They're off-site pipelines, so those will be funded as part of the grant or the loan.
I think that's where the confusion lies. If the grant is funding the distribution system to those,
Right.
Then why wouldn't the grant fund down to the Young's facility?
There is an opportunity to have that grant funded, but it's going to take a lot of time to get that done, because we have to first get to this part of the Warp 7 expansion to make sure we package the Warp 7 with Young's Farms. Young's Farm has been anxiously awaiting a connection to get this done. And we thought it was a good opportunity to get us part of this package, and it was a low dollar amount associated with as compared to the rest of it.
And we're using the water demand offset fee, so we're not using ratepayer funds for it. We're using the developer fee, which is the purpose of that fee.
Yeah.
Does getting to the Young's Farms, does that require more than the on-site? Does this require an off-site component?
Yes.
It requires an offsite. Yes.
So then this would do both. They would do an off-site and the on-site to get to Young's.
Only for Young's.
Only for Young's.
Yes.
And what do you think the percentage of that cost is based on? Is this like
It's about 1 million.
1 million?
Versus at 7.7.
So that's what that's really the thing that we're debating, I guess, is it worth using 1 million of our funds that can be used for this, or waiting for the grant to pay for it? Right, I think that's the option, right? It's either we spend $1 million now, or they get to wait for another.
They might have to wait another 5 years.
So that's the question.
And the grant is not going to cover the full amount. There's still going to be contribution by us, because on average, if you look at as a whole, we're successful in getting loans and grants at the 30% mark, and then the other 70. We have to carry anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's typically a loan. It's typically a loan and a grant. And the loan is paid back through the sanitation rate.
If we deplete the developer fund fee or pot that we have, are we gonna have to increase the developer fees?
No, it's an ongoing. Every time we issue a meter, we collect a water demand offset fee.
Correct.
So we get potentially to.
Are we gonna have to increase the amount we ask for?
From the developers?
Correct.
No.
Because okay.
No, because it's based on the recycled water projects. So as the recycled water projects are completed, we look at, well, what are the next set of recycled water projects that we're gonna do? How much money do we need to collect to fund those? And so theoretically, over time, that fee's gonna go down as we complete the recycled water projects.
Okay.
I think one further question I have is, I'm aware that the property, I guess I should ask it this way, is the demand the same as the original application, or has the demand reduced, and what is that demand today?
The demand has reduced. There was an expanded farmland, but there's been improvements within the young farms. I believe we started at the 800 acre feet mark, and now we're somewhere in the 400. So there's been half.
I had a whole different line of questioning. I'm not sure I even want to go there. But just, I wonder about somebody like Southwest Church, and I know the landscape ordinance we did before, that was just potable water, right?
Right.
And they're probably using a well, I imagine. Or are they using potable water? I mean, they have a lot of grass, right?
They use potable water. Southwest Church. I believe it's potable water.
It's potable. It's potable water.
They don't have a well?
No.
Maybe the turf farm across the street probably has a well,
Probably so, John.
but not this.
But that's not part of the Southwest
No,
property.
no, it's part of the
Just
tennis
hook them
garden,
up.
right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
And I mean, it's a city or whatever.
Right.
But they're just kind of thinking about the direction everything's going with all that. I mean, it's not really a school. My point is that grass doesn't really get used much, right? I mean, it's non-functional turf almost all year long, and then they use it as a parking lot.
Yeah, and they haven't been irrigating it. I think they just refurbished it, but long-term plans are to not have to have buildings over there. So
It is to have buildings over there.
So it's it's kind of an intermediary.
Yeah,
use.
I'm just wondering what I don't want to do is spend the money to hook up the on-site on something where they're going to no longer use water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's really not. It's a little bit of an oddball, where you have these kind of expanses of turf that aren't used. They park cars on it during the tennis tournament.
Yeah.
Right.
And for special events there that
And
they have.
and there's a group of those radio control guys out there on the weekends.
Yeah.
Flying their planes, but I don't think.
Yeah,
they're
so it
gonna
is
be
functional
here.
turf.
I guess. I mean, is it a park? It's not a school or a park, or what is it? But anyways, I'm all right with that. They're probably. I mean, they might be in trouble under the landscape ordinance if they don't do this. If they're using potable water.
Well, there was kind of a business decision made here because we needed an easement from them in order to extend the pipeline through their property, and so it wasn't that much of an additional cost to give them a connection.
Okay, fair enough.
At Southwest.
Right.
Right.
All right, I'm okay with it.
How much did you say we're using? What's the anticipated delivery?
So for the customers that we have here, we have about 6,000 acre feet.
Okay.
Something.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
Right. It's all part of the plan to get to zero discharge at Warp 10.
Yeah.
To meet all of those various goals that we need to meet.
Yeah, no, that's good.
And Warp 7, right?
And Warp 7, right.
It's good.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, is there a motion to approve this item?
I'll make a motion to approve this item.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Passed 5-0.
Thank you.
Take care, Mama.
Yeah, that's good progress, really, when you look at
Yeah, it is.
how long we've been working on all these things.
I know.
It's good. F, go ahead, Carrie.
Okay. Good morning. So I want to thank Jennifer Sorensen from Cal State San Bernardino for being here and sitting the first hour of the board meeting before we get to her item, our item. So this is related to two agreements related to the Cal State University San Bernardino campus. We have a special domestic water and sanitation system agreement, and then we have an easement agreement. So there's no budget impact to CVWD by approving these agreements. The easement agreement is for Cal State to grant CVWD a 20-foot wide non-exclusive easement for our existing pipeline that is in Burger Circle. And so CVWD will accept the easement area in its as-is condition. Our pipeline was installed in 2 phases, one in 2002 and one in 2011. So we are going to accept the easement in its as-is condition, or we won't interfere with the existing use. If for some reason we have to relocate the existing pipeline, then we do bear the cost for the relocation. But seeing as it's been there for 20 or so more years, I think that's a low risk. So as part of the special agreement for domestic water service and sanitation service to the new student services building, one of the requirements for Cal State is that, and for CVWD, is that we execute this easement agreement. And then Cal State also has to design and construct a looped pipeline, which is a second pipeline that will connect to the pipeline in Burger Circle. Due to just timing of that pipeline and when Cal State needs meters to the building, we've created some provisions in the agreement that if the pipeline isn't constructed by the time that the meters are needed, then Cal State will put the construction cost equal to that second pipeline in an escrow account to guarantee that the pipeline is constructed. And then the sanitation system that will be serving the new student center building, it will be private, but it does connect to our sewer system in Cook Street. And so after all that's said and done, Cal State will pay all the normal fees, the water system backup facility charge, the water demand offset fee, and the sanitation capacity charges. CVWD will give Cal State a credit for that second pipeline that they're building, and so that will be reduced off of the water system backup facility charges. And I think that's it. So the ask here is for the Board of Directors to authorize the General Manager to execute the special domestic water and sanitation system installation agreement and to execute the easement agreement with the Board of Trustees of the California State University on behalf of the California State University San Bernardino Palm Desert campus.
Carrie, does this clean up all the issues that we've been getting
Yes.
calls on from various legislators asking why
Mm-hmm.
we're
Yes,
not
it
being
does.
cooperative?
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Good.
Good.
Good job.
This has been a lot. This has been a project for you, I know. You're probably happy to get this one.
I think both of us are happy to get it.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, no, and
Make-
thank you to the school for working with us and meeting us where we have to meet.
Yeah.
Sounds like everybody's happy.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Action.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion to approve and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passed 5-0. Good. Thanks, Carrie. Next.
Okay, next one.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so the next one is mine as well.
All right.
Okay, so this is to authorize the formation of a California Statewide Communities Development Authority, or CFD, within the boundaries of CVWD for the Del Webb Desert Retreat Project in the city of Indio. So basically this is just something we've done in the past for other Del Webb projects, where a community facilities district is formed. This California Statewide Communities Development Authority, the CSCDA, they are the lead agency, so they take care of all of the, they basically process all the paperwork. All we have to do is just receive it, verify that all of the fees, all of the infrastructure that they're asking for reimbursement for is correct, and then the reimbursement goes to the developer. So this action is to ask the Board of Directors to adopt a resolution which authorizes the CSCDA to form the CFD within our limits, district boundaries, to enter into a joint community facilities agreement as set forth here in the package, approve a form of a funding and acquisition agreement between the district and the developer, and then authorize CBWD staff to cooperate with CSCDA in the formation of the CFD. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
So just so I kind of have a better understanding, is this like leads to a Melrose type tax where the development fees are funded by not by the developer but by the purchaser of the property, and so then they it's on their tax roll that they're paying for those development fees over the life of the loan?
Yes, it is similar to that. This CSCDA, they issue bonds to help fund the fees and the infrastructure that the developer needs to construct.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's an exhibit to one of the agreements, and so they're asking between the water and sewer, there's about 23 million in costs, and then for the fees, it's about 12 million in fees. So those would be the costs that they would be.
42 million they're going to put on the tax rolls in that community.
Right.
Yeah, but the point is that you don't have to put that, because somebody's got to pay it.
Right.
Upfront.
Yeah.
You don't have to put it into the purchase price of the house.
Right.
It goes into this, it gets paid by the bond, and then it
Right.
goes, gets
You would
paid
hope.
off over time.
You
Right.
hope that they don't put it in the.
This is normal practice for
Yeah,
a lot of
it's
places do
normal.
this.
Yeah.
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 It becomes another layer of financing.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, it delays the impact to the homeowner, to the purchaser.
And the CSCDA takes the work off of CBWD. We're not the lead agency. Our name isn't mentioned on the tax roll. You know, we're just in the background. We're just saying, yes, these are the, this is the infrastructure and these are the fees based on our special installation agreement with the developer. So the developer goes and builds it, or they pay the fees, and we just double check the numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Passed 5-0.
Okay.
Okay.
My last one.
More. Go ahead, H.
Okay. This one is just to approve and adopt a budget amendment resolution for our engineering department's operating budget for the water valve operator wells and sewer manhole adjustments in the amount of $450,000. I know this has been a big item this year. We had $1 million in the budget, 500 for domestic water valves, 500 for sewer manholes, but there's just been a high quantity of pavement replacement projects, as I'm sure you're all aware as you drive around the valley. And so we've just been informed of an upcoming project in the city of La Quinta in the amount of approximately $450,000. So we just need to do a budget amendment in order to cover those costs. Because as you know, we're in the county's streets under an encroachment permit. So when they come and do a project, we're responsible for our own facilities. So we either have our on-call contractor do it, or we have the city's pavement contractor, lower the valves, lower the manholes, pave, and they have to come back and raise them.
Hey, Jeff, just a question. I live on the, at the top of that red line on the northwest corner of Fred Waring and Adams. And it's certainly within 500 feet of the blue area. Do I have a conflict there?
So if this project were to have a material impact on your property financially, then you would have to recuse yourself. This sounds like more of a rehab, or it's not extending a line that
No,
would add
it's
to
just-
the value of your property. So as a result, I don't see the conflict here.
It's just pavement replacement.
I would agree with that.
Your manholes being adjusted isn't going to help.
Something's got to help, man. No.
Yeah.
I think I'm good too. Thank you for your
That was funny. That was
comment.
funny.
All right, so you're in. Is there
That's it.
any questions or comments before we vote?
No.
Is there a motion to approve this item? Do we have a motion?
Move approval.
There we go. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Thank you.
Passed 5-0. On to I. It's got a long thing. Sabrina, we have this painting.
Good morning. For the record, my name is Sabrina Neese, Engineering Manager for Domestic Water and General District. The item before you today is our request, the recommendation rather, to reject the bid from Perfection Painting Corporation and authorize the general manager to execute a construction contract with Shipley Construction and Plumbing as the lowest responsive and responsible bidder in the amount of $201,201 for the construction of the domestic water chemical building repair project and approve additional expenditures for a total request of $266,000. To provide a little bit of additional background, the lowest bidder was Perfection Painting Corporation. However, they did not submit a hard copy of the bid bond, so they were deemed non-responsive. The second lowest was Shipley Construction and Plumbing. They met all the minimum requirements of the bid and were deemed the lowest responsive and responsible bidder in the amount of $201,201. We do have this project included in the current fiscal year budget in the amount of $266,000. And I'd be happy to answer any additional questions regarding this project. It does include, one item of clarification, the stacker replacement is for 5 well pumping plants and 4 booster stations.
Okay. And they're all shown on the map. How does this look?
It's good to me. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Stucco replacement. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passed 5-0.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sabrina.
David, morning. Go ahead. Take the 10J.
Hi, good morning. Purpose of this item is to authorize the general manager to execute a purchase and sale agreement and joint escrow instructions with Zamora Industries LLC for the acquisition of 1.6 acres of land in the amount of $109,000 to make way for the Thousand Palms Flood Control Project. The total cost of this request is $119,700, which includes title, escrow, closing costs, and contingency. The cost per acre is a little bit misleading here. We actually have an additional 3.6 acres of land that we, for severance damages that we're paying for the easterly portion of this property that becomes landlocked as a consequence of the project. So technically, this cost is over 5.2 acres of land. However, we are only acquiring the 1.6. And with that, I'll take any questions.
That would be the yellow, kind of the yellow line that passes through the parcel.
The project is the yellow line, yes.
Yeah. And so the stranded is to the west is that open ground within the blue outline.
The property we're paying severance damages for is actually to the east of the line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Is there a motion to approve this?
I'll move.
Second.
All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pass 5-0.
Thank you.
Thanks, David. Okay. On to
Spending a lot
K.
of money today.
That's a little one. That's a little one. Stucco and land acquisition. Did the whole thing for cheap. Joe,
Look at that, Joanne. I like it.
Now I can see.
Yes.
Director Bianca. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mrs. Howell and members
morning.
of the board. My name is Joanne Lay, Director of Environmental Services. This morning, staff requests the board to authorize the general manager to execute Amendment 1 to Task Order 2 of the Professional Services Agreement with Todd Groundwater for the development of the Coachella Valley Regional Water Resilience Plan in the amount of $487,140 and approve Budget Amendment Resolution number 2526006 to increase the fiscal year 2026 budget by $86,500. As you may recall, on May 28th of 24, the board adopted Resolution 2024-13, accepting funds from the Governor's Office of Land Use and Climate Innovation for this plan development. So it's fully funded by this grant, and subsequently, the board authorized the general manager to execute this task order with Todd Groundwater for their support in the amount of $400,640 on August 27 of 24 for this work. Just a little bit background. The project includes partnership between CBWD, Torres Martinez, and Pueblo Unido, our tribal partners. And throughout the first half of this planning effort, our tribal partners have spent far less time than we anticipated when we put in this grant application, while Todd Groundwater has spent more time on supporting the project progress. Therefore, we're proposing a budget reallocation in the amount of $86,500 to shift to the Todd Groundwater task order to ensure that all grant fund tasks are completed by the combined team on time. The proposed budget reallocation was agreed upon our project partners and was reviewed and approved by LCI, the grantor. With that, I can answer any questions you may have for this request.
Just wanted to clarify some things, Joanne. Just so I make sure I'm following. So we've started this plan already, right? And,
Yes.
And we had a grant amount.
Yes.
And we're not getting more grant amount. You're just moving it around.
We're just shifting funds from our partners who build a grantor, and then they get reimbursed. But their involvement has been minimal,
Okay.
whereas the project or Todd Groundwater has spent more time
Okay.
on public.
So we're just moving
engagement.
it from that budget category over
this one,
so that we
right.
can have more money for Todd.
Yes, for this fiscal year.
Okay.
And in that, we have to amend their task order.
Okay,
is
thank you.
all.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah. Right.
Does the completion of this plan allow us to better compete in other funding opportunities? Is
Correct.
that was that the
Yes.
thinking
So once the
behind
plan
it?
is developed and we have identified projects under the plan, then we can go out and compete for funding for implementation.
Perfect.
Good.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve.
It's just crazy how things work.
Is there a second?
Is that a second?
I don't think it was.
I mean, it's just mind blowing how everything works. I mean, you got to do this to do this, and
Well, at least
I mean,
they're
we didn't have to do this. I mean, we didn't have to do this. Just because the money's available doesn't mean we have to do it. And then we're going to have this piece of paper that says it's going to point to all these things, and then we're going to have to go out and do them. Right?
No, I think we're gonna point at things that we can get grant funding for. Right, and hopefully they're
And
real
maybe,
things.
and maybe you're right.
And
Maybe you're right. It's not just extra things that we didn't need to do.
yeah, hopefully it's not extra things.
Yes.
No,
Hopefully
and
real
it's
things.
central to what we do.
I hope so.
Managing
so.
the basin is, I think, really the key fundamental of what we do.
I'll
I think there's a second. Here we go. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Passed 5-0.
Thanks, Joanne.
AV. Luis You coming up? Good morning.
Good morning, President Powell, members of the board. My name is Luis Maciel, for the record. I'm the Director of IT. As I promised 3 years ago, well, actually 2.5, to the board that I would not neglect Coachella and that we would upgrade it and modernize it. I'm here today to request that the board authorizes the general manager to enter into a contract agreement with Western Audio Visual to upgrade the facilities in Coachella. As you know, since COVID, we have the need to do a better conferencing to be able to facilitate collaboration remotely. Luckily, because we have this facility now updated and modern, as an example, the ERP and the building system meetings have been very efficient. We're not going as much, back and forth to different places to work together. And so we waited, long enough to allow the budget to allow us to do this. And so we're here today to request the board approves this project. I have a presentation if you have any questions. This is a $440,000 project plus 10% contingency. We have a presentation if you'd like to learn more about this. Obviously, this is there are also additional requirements to comply with the Brown Act, and so we feel it's time to upgrade Coachella.
So, I just got to ask the question.
Yes, sir.
We don't have enough guys on staff to go and upgrade the thing ourselves.
We did.
22. There's 22.
There's 22 of us. Yeah.
22.
And we did some, right? We did as much as we could. In fact, we did partial upgrades with the expertise we have in house. Crestron Technologies are very specific to audiovisual, and those folks are engineers, right? The technology itself has to be configured by certified engineers, and so the fact that we have already extended it for 3 years with our support, we did that. But at some point, we have to step in and actually implement the correct infrastructure to make sure everything works as expected.
Okay, so to get the Zoom to work and to get all these things to work, it's going to cost $500,000.
It's just not that. So remember that these systems are all integrated, right? So I can get Zoom to work on my iPad, right? What we're looking for here is professionalism, reliability. The conference rooms have also been outdated for several years now. In fact, we looked at this project with Director Nelson over 6-7 years ago. And back then it was $500,000.
It was expensive back then.
Yeah. It was actually a little bit over $500,000. And so we did a lot of work already. We have cameras. We're now replacing the displays. We're keeping as much as we can that we've done in-house. This is for the core component of the system that we don't have the expertise, and again, it requires specific equipment. We're looking for the same functionality as this building. We still have over close to 200 employees over there that depend on these rooms, and that makes it's the right thing to do for the district.
So it'll essentially be the same control system that we have in this.
Exactly the same.
And then I'll also add, if you're aware, if you recall in the past, we used to do the board study sessions in the Rummins training room, and we have since transitioned them to the Forbes because we don't have the technology to be able to do them in Rummins as well. So we want to make sure that not only are we updating the boardroom, but we're also updating the different conference rooms, the training rooms, to allow for the board to either return back to those things and also allow for the DAC meetings, the Gulf and Water Task Force meetings, all those things to be able to be, the rooms to be utilized, and for the meetings to be able to use the new online platforms and technology that other areas have.
So it's more than just the boardroom; it's the entire
It is.
facility.
It's the Forbes. It's the board conference room that you use for closed session. It's the Rummins training room. There's an HR conference room, and then there's a second, I don't know what we call it, admin conference room that is down the hall that various departments use: customer service, billing, I think facilities, everybody else. So it is various rooms. It's not just the boardroom.
Yeah, I think that when we looked at it in the past, it was just the board closed session room and the boardroom.
Correct.
You know, for that, and that was. I mean, we didn't do that, and because of the.
And I'll just add, if you recognize how much smoother and easier it is when you teleconference in from this, when we're here, to when you're in Coachella, you see that difference. So for those of you that have teleconferenced in, when you teleconference into this room, the clarity, the audio quality and so forth is 100 times better when we're here than when you're in Coachella. In Coachella, we're continually having microphone issues, we're having audio issues, we have video issues, we have just a variety of different technical issues because the system is so outdated over there. So I think...
And I've got to say that Todd groundwater presentation for the salt and nutrient management planning over at Coachella was really bad. I mean, no, it was really bad, and I thought it was a lack of preparation on the dais part. But I'm sure it's hard to get through those. It's hard to get through the preparation when it's a kind of a clunky system.
Yeah, just let me give you an example. If I wanted to mute you right now, I could without muting the entire board. Over there, we have one channel going everywhere. I'm not saying that.
You better not try.
We would never do that. You were the last one. But I would say we have no control over the audio system. That's one thing that we never also replaced or upgraded. And so when you're speaking behind the mic, we try to increase the volume and it just throws everything off. Then we get a lot of feedback. Again, the back-end system is dated and needs an upgrade. There's also compliance with ADA that we need to meet. And we are ensuring that the speakers are also fully functional for everyone, not only in the boardroom, but across. So again, it's an overhaul of the entire AV system that is much needed.
And also some changes to, and Jeff can chime in on the legal part of that, but some changes to the Brown Act that will require us to offer a type of online platform for our public to be able to participate. If there's interruptions with that, because of the system, we will have to stop the meeting. We will not be able to continue it. So we want to ensure that the systems are up to date and reliable so that it doesn't interfere with us being able to conduct the board meetings and the board to be able to conduct business.
Quite the tag team, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Boy.
yeah.
You did very good.
Yes, sir.
So are we running all with internal staff
They
now?
knew.
We don't have the vendor anymore.
Right.
We used to pay someone to run the meetings for us.
Right.
Now with these new technologies, we run IT to corporate.
It's all
We do that.
internal.
It's all internal.
Okay.
Yep. So
That
there's a
alone
little
was like
cost savings there.
$80,000 a year, and we're doing
Yeah.
it now. It will pay for itself in 3 years.
So we won't see the little van outside that the guy comes and to operate.
You haven't seen it for a while, unless we had an emergency. You know, if there was an emergency where one of my staff, I have right now I have 3 dedicated folks in there watching the whole.
Right, but for the first year of this contract, they're going to be available to help.
They
us.
will be. There's a warranty period for them to be
All
here
right.
to make
So they
sure
won't
that-
necessarily run the operations.
No,
but-
because the scope is requesting that they build the same UI, the same user interface
Right.
and workflows, so it makes it easier
they already know how
for
to
the
do it.
clerk of the board to operate. And also, the staff that uses the training rooms, they also struggle because the way we built it was just with Stream Decks, which is they're helpful if you want to do like a small operation, but they're not very user friendly, right? There's these little tiny buttons. I don't know if you saw the presentation that attached to the deck.
Yeah, it's silly.
And
looking.
so it's day and night. Often they're calling us because
They can't.
they're not able to get it working, and we have to go in there and.
And that is one of the great parts of this is that the system will be upgraded to allow for any staff member to use it. So it's going to be very user friendly, very easy to manage. It's not staff can come in and utilize it for a training. Facilities or operations will have 6 a.m. meetings sometimes. Sometimes we have to send someone from IT in Coachella, or myself will have to be there because they just don't have the knowledge to be able to use that system. Not knowledge,
No, and
not they
think
can't,
about-
but. It is a little tricky. So now the new systems will allow for any staff member to be able to go in and
Correct.
use the system.
Yeah.
And
And
that
here's-
also help with external agencies. We do have agencies that use our rooms, the county, Salton Sea Authority.
Yeah, all right. You're selling it pretty good.
Okay.
So I just have a question. I've noticed in watching other public agency meetings that the camera doesn't move, so that if someone is speaking other than a board member or a director or somebody else, a staff, or if somebody's at the podium, you can't see that. So do we have that capability
Yes,
now, or
we do.
are we going to incorporate that?
Yes, we in fact we do have that already in these cameras. You can see them; they can actually tilt, and we have full control over them. We already do that
As well at Coachella?
We will have that. Yes, the cameras that we added 2 years ago, they've been working, but they lack some functionality. Not with the camera itself, with the Crestron system that allows us to operate it, and so we're gonna leverage that technology that we already placed in there. In fact, the TVs that you see, the displays, they're staying there, and those are now these high-end. We're being mindful about that too. These are high-end 4K displays. These are called enterprise level. In Coachella, the ones we have, these are your Costco TVs displays, right? I mean, we're mindful about what we're doing over
Yeah,
there,
I just
too.
think it's really important to be able to capture
Yeah.
whomever is participating at that moment.
And we change what I think it's called scenes or camera angles, and we do so if there's somebody at the podium, the camera will switch to one that captures the front of the person. When a board member is speaking, it will focus or zoom in on that board member. If it's kind of a big discussion, then they zoom out and they'll capture the full board so that you can see it. So we do currently do that as well, but the upgrades will allow for a little bit more functionality on that end as well.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, thank you.
Who wants to move approval?
I'll move approval of this item.
Thank you, sir.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. 5-0.
Much appreciated. Thank you for
Passed.
Thank you.
Dan. Good morning.
Good morning. So 5 years ago yesterday, we signed a memorandum of agreement with the 29 Palms Band of Mission Indians to be able to do our maintenance, capital improvements, and emergency work within the channel on their tribal property. I think Director Bianco and Director Estrada were involved with Jim and I to negotiate the terms. This is just an addendum to extend for another 5 years, but it basically just allows us to do our normal work on tribal lands. And yeah, I guess I'll open it up to any questions. Very simple. They're working really well with us. The catalyst of this was probably the 2019 storm, and we struggled to get into the area and agree on terms, and now we've outlined everything. It's worked very well since. So I would just ask that we
obviously
extend
because we didn't have to have another meeting.
Yeah, one meeting we were done. Yeah, it's worked well for 5 years since that.
Yes.
Yeah, so I would just request that we.
I'll make a motion. Thank you.
Second.
Okay. Motion and a second.
Estrada.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passed 5-0.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Written communications. We had the 2 plus there was one more that arrived.
We did, yes. Mr.
the-
President, we received an email shortly before the start of the board meeting, which has been forwarded to the board. It is just another comment letter from the North California or NorCal Carpenters Union. And
Thank
it'll
you.
be added to this log as well for the 12-9 communication log.
Yes. Thank you. On to board general comments, Director Nelson.
Yeah, great. Thanks, John. The year is young, but starting off pretty dry. The Colorado River is at like 68% normal for its snow water equivalent. I'm sure that's going to be a backdrop for CRUA coming up next week, which should be pretty interesting users association meeting. So I hope you all come. That'll be great. That Yuba City dry year, Yuba County dry year program will work great because, if we have a dry year, state's only 25% of snow water equivalent. Most of the storms are going north. So
The state of California, that was what I was wondering. I
Yeah.
thought we were doing a little better.
yeah, no, it's 25% of
That's
the
not good.
statewide average. So not too good. Crew is next week. Look forward to everybody there. And then kind of note this Friday in that in the ag industry, Patty Hargrove Rosales passed away. She was JT's wife. They were co-owners of the Hydro Systems, then Hydro Ag Systems. Put a lot of systems in the East Valley of supplied the materials for water conservation and water efficiency over the years, from the 70s all the way to today. So kind of just recognize her and her contributions to the Valley. And I think that's all I have this morning.
Thank you, Director Aguilar.
No comments, John.
I just want to apologize. I take pride into trying not miss any meetings, or at least maybe not more than one a year. And last week I was in Mississippi visiting my kids, and my wife was sick, and we couldn't get the next plane ride out, and I had to miss the meeting. So I apologize for that, and I'll say go Rebels. We lost our coach, but we're gonna still try, see what happens.
All right.
Good.
No comments.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I was on vacation and intentionally missed the last meeting. I needed to get away, and we went to Japan and Hong Kong, and it was really, really nice to get away. But you can't beat being home. It was nice to come home, so I'm glad to be back. But you got to get away once in a while. Get a colonoscopy and get away once in a while. just to good advice.
When you're over 50.
Yeah. Did he say men over 50? Because women need to do it too.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah.
let's amend the prior comments.
Yeah.
Women should do it too. All right, that's all I have. Do we have any requests for future agenda items? None. Board meeting reports. Who's first? We have the. Oh yeah, that was nice. Were you there, Kessler, for the CV Link grand opening in Coachella?
Yeah, but that was already reported on.
Oh, you reported on it? Oh, because we missed the meeting. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we were there.
Yeah.
Has anyone fallen off the side of the thing yet? I mean, do you see how steep that thing is?
I've looked down. John. It's pretty steep.
I mean, I guess if you're clever, you could just ride down.
Yeah.
But it's, what is it, 25 feet? It's a
Yeah.
pretty big fall. Anyways, it was a nice event.
It'd be a roll, not a fall.
A roll, yeah.
That was the first one.
Yeah,
right?
that's the one you spoke at.
That was the first
Yeah.
one.
That was the one you spoke at, and that was the first one that they kicked it
No,
off.
good event.
Yeah. It was a good event.
I need to go ride on it, actually.
You should. It's good.
So
November 6th, we had our special board meeting. I guess we're just reporting on that because of our absences. So that happened. And then November 7th, we had Director Bianco meeting with staff.
Yeah, so we just went over a water contingency shortage plan that Scott's putting together. Scott and Jim and I met to go over before it comes to the board here in the next couple of months. April, yeah. Just to kind of smooth some
Good.
things out, some of the comments I made on the earlier one. So they're getting ahead a little bit.
Good.
Okay, good, thanks. Yeah, that'll be interesting. November 8th, we had the ribbon cutting for the Lake Cahuilla Veterans Regional Park, and it was a nice event. I was there.
Mhm.
It was good. Good for them.
They did a very nice job.
Yeah.
The new pool area that they put in is amazing.
Yeah.
The whole place looked great. I'd never seen it look so good.
Yeah,
John,
really.
I won't say anything about your nice speech because we recognize that.
Yeah. I want to know who won the fishing derby. Did they have a fishing derby? I think
They did.
They did.
How big was the fish that won?
I don't know. I didn't hear the results.
They need to come tell us. All right. November 13th, CVCC, Director Bianco.
Let's see. We acquired another parcel in the Upper Mission Creek, Big Morongo Basin Conservation. It's approximately 10.77 acres. They gave us a update on the burrowing owl. We also had a presentation on this 30 by 30 wildlife connectivity project, which is a project that they've been working on for the last couple of years, where they put cameras underneath the overpasses on I-10 to see what kind of wildlife, and they've recognized wildlife that actually goes underneath the freeway. And so they're looking at some grant funding for some connectivity areas where we can connect some of species that aren't traveling from one side to the other in the future.
So we're going to put a bridge over?
Don't get me started on it.
Okay. All right. I do have a question about the burrowing owl report. So have we had any? Have there been any changes in burrowing owl?
Yeah, there's some pushback on what the state is saying and what they're actually finding here. The state's trying to put that on some kind of species list, which would impact or hurt development. Mm-hmm. And the findings that the CVCC have are quite different. Mm-hmm. So there's some.
So CVCC is finding plenty of burrowing owls,
Correct.
and especially on the mitigated lands that been developed by the community through the habitat species conservation plan.
Yeah.
There are a lot of places we would like them to not be.
Yes.
Right, and so, but we have mitigation lands, right? And so, even though we have them where we would like them not to be, we have plenty of structures that they're surviving and doing well.
Yeah, and your staff, Scott's group, is working on that issue a lot, and so maybe during Department of Reports or the next meeting, he can talk about the activities that are taking place to try to push back against the expansion of that obligation.
Of that regulation, right?
Correct.
Right. So the owl was supposed to be covered by the conservation plan that we've entered into, and the state and federal are saying, no, that's an extra mitigation that needs to be done.
Okay, yeah, because, yeah. Okay.
Is that right, Scott, basically?
Fair enough. We don't need to
Okay.
go into this, do we?
Well, yeah, I would just say that Karen has been working closely with. Pardon? Oh, Karen has been working closely with city council members and attorneys to kind of mobilize some discussion about this and a response letter, and Joanne's team is also working on this. So, I feel like it is something that we are working to address.
Yeah, John, I've heard that there's been some, and I wanted to get with John too, that there have been some projects that have been denied permits because of burrowing owl issues. So if that's the case, and if that's moving forward, I think it's maybe a hotter topic than we realize.
Yeah, I wasn't aware.
I think it is. We should put it on the agenda for open discussion or closed session if we have to, but I think it's brewing.
And this also came up during the most recent La Quinta City Council meeting during board or city council comment. So we'll work with Joanne and bring it back to a future meeting.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, we heard they stopped the project in India also and Cat City. So
yeah,
Wow, was not aware.
Thanks, Scott.
Did you already cover the energy meeting?
I was not there on that one.
You were not there, okay. Then Greater Coachella Valley Chamber, Director Nelson?
Yeah, the Greater Coachella Valley Committee or Chamber of Commerce is holding a series of legislative breakfasts, and Chad Bianco was there talk about his issues, and they're going. I think the plan is to have all the candidates go to the to those, and I had a chance to talk to Chad about water issues and so forth. So that's always good to have some communication with the candidates get them to hear our perspective about State Water Project and Colorado River water issues.
Yeah. Good. Disadvantaged community, Director Estrada.
Yeah, I was on there. I joined via Zoom. Oh, I think everybody joined via Zoom. I think we're on. Are we doing Zooms only now? Okay. So, yeah, it was a general meeting. Went pretty quickly over the general items, project updates, and then we jumped into the kind of the intro meeting to the what we're calling the East Valley Water Supply Plan, and which we worked on back in 2018, and kind of gave us the roadmap for consolidating several systems out there. And a few meetings ago, you heard that we had received a grant to update that plan, and so that was kind of the kickoff for that, and also an update on the. We have a similar plan that's for sewer, and so we're gonna that's gonna get updated as well. And conversation was good, and looking forward to having more of those meetings.
Good.
That was it.
On November 20th, Valley Sand 100-year birthday.
Oh yeah, I was there. Jim was there. Karen was there. There were a number of people there, and it was good. It was good to support them. I mean, they asked. Someone asked if who in the crowd is 100 years old, and Jim piped up and said CBWD. So that was
well,
pretty
that's good.
funny.
That's true.
It was funny then too, as much as it's funny now. No, it was good. Had some great conversations with retired general counsel for the sanitation district, Bob Hargraves, with formerly with BBK, now retired, formerly Salton Sea Authority, Palm Desert guy. So it was good to kind of network around. So.
Interesting. Okay. Living Desert Board of Trustees, Director Bianco.
We went over the budget as we always do. We had some guests from Mongolia there. I've seen pictures of them on the screen for the last couple of years because there's a partnership with the Living Desert.
They're going to give us a yak?
Excuse me?
They're going to give us a yak?
They gave everybody a yak is a...
It's a big furry animal. Don't they have those in Mongolia?
A yak.
I don't know if they're giving us a yak.
It's like a cow.
I don't think that's why they're here.
Oh, okay. I don't
think the yak would like our desert climate, but they came down, they sang a song, and we got to meet them. It was nice. And then they did a presentation on the new monkey. They have a Patas monkey, which is one of the fastest monkeys on Earth. It's real small. It's got a beard.
Like a mustache.
Mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Patas. Patas.
Yeah, cute little monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one of their new exhibits. They're doing well.
Good. Director Nelson, thank you for doing that discussion regarding the Crew Press event.
Right. Yeah. We did it, and we're planning for it.
Good. Then we had the Aquafall Conference, Director Nelson.
Yeah, that was a good conference. Kind of on sidebar, the Burrowing Now issue came up with a number of agencies, so it's good to hear that we'll get up to speed on that. Great networking with other agencies that have Prop 218 issues, like Otay Mesa. The DCP update really focused around valued engineering and timelines for that. So we did the investors like CBWD got an update with that. I always reckon to or recall the meeting, that the DCP meeting where we went, and Anthony, you went, and you said, is this thing going to get built? And they're certainly moving to those efforts, and
It seems like we're getting a little bit more
traction.
Governor push.
Right.
Is helping. Yeah.
Right. And so the new governor will, kind of pick up this mantle, next November. So we'll hope that continues to move forward. The water rights permit is, the incidental take permit's been approved, and the water rights permit that's at the state board is in process. And so while that is a long, drawn-out process, they're pretty hopeful that it is on a positive track.
Okay. Golf and Water Director Estrada.
I was not in attendance.
Okay. And then there was a dinner on the 3rd.
Yeah, that was during Crew.
You covered that.
Yeah,
during Aqua.
I was
yeah,
there too.
during yeah.
Fair
Aqua.
enough. Are there any other meetings we need to add? Nope.
I have one December
Okay.
5th. This past Friday, I came out on the Christmas parade for the city of Coachella, representing CVWD. So I had a nice car with lights on it that said had a CVWD logo, said board director. Got announced as a director of CVWD, and I've done it once in a while. You know, maybe this is like my 4th time, but you know, I'll wear my CVWD logo, and I walked it. I like to walk it. I don't like to be in the car. Yeah, it feels weird. So I get off the car and I walk it, and my wife and my kids are actually, I made my wife walk it with me too. So now don't tell her I made her. She just
It looked like they've upgraded that parade. I mean, I saw pictures of it. It looked pretty good.
It's real nice. It's people like it. There's a lot of entries for you know, dancing teams, and it's not just Coachella. It pulls people from out of town and far away. You know, I think there's like Compton was there, or you know, there were a bunch of different cities. But
Cool.
But anyways, I had fun and I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Anyone else?
John, let me add that one of the keynote speakers was the chairman of Western Growers Association. So Dave Puglia?
Yeah. He's the president.
Yeah,
he's
president.
Yeah.
Gave a great talk about farming and agriculture and the interrelated issues with water, with all of the these are more urban water attendees. So he did a good job at making that connection and really sharing the struggles that ag is going through in terms of other regulatory issues. Highlighted the lettuce study up in Salinas, where regulatory costs are upwards near $1,200 an acre of regulatory, whether it be pesticide use, labor use, those types of things, and water requirements, irrigated lands requirements, nitrogen reporting, all those things water related as well. So I think it was well received within the community. So.
Glad to hear. Any others? Is there a motion to approve per diem for the meetings reported on?
Yeah, so moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passed 5-0. General manager report.
Yes, sir. Thanks again to the board. I very much appreciate the opportunity to be here, and I couldn't accomplish the things that the board needs without the help of staff. So again, my thanks and gratitude to staff. I did. There is an employee event in Coachella tomorrow, and then in Palm Desert, I've forwarded an email to the board members for your information. And that's all I've got, sir. We are very busy in finance and customer service, or PACE as we now call them, with the ERP and utility billing implementation, end-to-end testing. It's very involved. We want to make sure we are able to operate consistently moving forward. And in order to do that, it really takes a lot of time at the front end. And again, we've got a great staff that's focused in on that, being very mindful. We're making very good progress. I don't really have any concerns at this time, except to acknowledge that there is an awful lot of work going on right now, and the fact that the board doesn't really see impacts from that on the regular day-to-day, I think is, again, a credit to the staff here. So, again, my appreciation. That's
Good.
it, sir.
Good. Appreciate that. It's good to hear.
And I will pass
Council.
today, Mr. President, long meeting.
Thank you.
Not
Do we have
that
any
long.
departmental reports? I thought I heard there was one. No?
You're welcome to come up and speak if you'd like, but I don't see anybody coming. I take it back. Yeah, please.
Carrie Oliphant.
For engineering.
Hi.
Hi.
Jim sent out an email with an update on the development services plan
Yes.
check.
Oh, yeah.
So
Appreciate the effort on that,
I
too.
just, if there were any questions, I
Sorry,
was
I
happy
forgot
to
to do
answer.
Oh, and I will say that I reached out to some that were complaining about that, and could not be happier with the response that they've seen with CBWD, largely because of your efforts, but also I know the staff's involved as well. But
Yeah.
very appreciative. Never seen. The quote was, "Never seen anything like it." So,
Okay.
how
Well,
about
maybe
that?
we ought to throttle back then.
How
I
about
don't know.
that?
Thank you.
I had good feedback too, Carrie.
Okay, good.
And so good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up because it's a big deal.
Yep.
Thanks, Carrie.
So at this time, the board will recess into closed session to consider the items listed on the agenda, and we will, following that, we will reconvene in open session to report out. Our regular meeting is reconvened. We do not have any. We don't have any reportable action from closed session, and with no further business, we are adjourned.